And we're off. It is Thursday, March 31st, 2022 AD, Anno Domini, and it's 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. And we're going to have a fun, shall we have a loosey-goosey Thursday show? I think we should have a loosey-goosey Thursday show. You can call in 888-775-3773 if you're listening or watching live, you know. If you're catching the audio podcast or watching the video later, you cannot call in, obviously, right? And I want to talk about I feel dumb, the gay trans agenda. I say I feel dumb because I spent practically the whole yesterday show talking about that, but I didn't know that it was going to be the International Day of whatever, Transgender Visibility or something like that. What a mess. I have a clip of some SJW woman from Libs of TikTok on Twitter, shout out to them, that I will play regarding the Will Smith mess. And, you know, a lot of people like to talk about that. And some other things going on, all right? A minor correction perhaps on the Ron Perlman thing. Maybe I'll replay that cringy clip of Ron Perlman, the actor, who hates the children. And he kisses up to the gays, which is not a positive thing. That's not good for them. It's not good for the gays to kiss up to the gays. It's not good for the people. And by the way, guys, I have a debate coming up tomorrow evening on the Great Reset. So I shall, that is one thing I should bring up to you guys. I don't know if I'll have screenshots on some of my findings regarding the Great Reset and who supports this mess, but I did look into it, and shout out to the people on Telegram who helped me, are helping me with my research. Very nice. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. Today I am wearing a USS Iowa t-shirt. And you cannot get this on the Hake Report website, just so you know. It's a USS Iowa is a battleship, or was. I guess it still is somewhat to this day. And it was retired, I guess, and now it's down in San Pedro. San Pedro, that's right down the road next to Long Beach, California. Strong Beach. And some people confuse the USS Iowa for the USS Liberty, which was another battleship, I think, or ship, military ship from the government, from the U.S., that decades back, some of you guys know specifically the date, was it like June 7th or something like that? That Israel just attacked, some Israeli military members attacked the USS Liberty, and a lot of you guys want to remember that. And yeah, there are guys who were survivors who felt that it was not an accident or not a case of mistaken identity. Some people claimed that they thought it was an Egyptian ship, but what a mess, huh? Anyway, this is the USS Iowa. I got it actually shortly after I started working for the Jesse Lee Peterson show, because down there they had this like Memorial Day or one of those military honoring days, a big event with like AM 870, The Answer. I think JLP was on The Answer, local radio station. Did you know that JLP was on terrestrial radio for years? But now we're going in where even more of the people are. Very nice. The internet. Shout out to the internet. Lots of stuff to get to. And actually, it's kind of like I said, it's going to be a loosey-goosey Thursday show. I got a little carried away. People, did you know that JLP is on you know what, let me maybe get right to this. Did you know that JLP is on cozy.tv now? That's so cool. So exciting. Cozy.tv/JLP. I'm not on Cozy, at least not yet. It would require some more money out of me for my particular setup to be able to stream on another custom RTMP channel like Cozy. So, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Taking my time. But on cozy.tv, there are these things called stickers, kind of like what some of you who are familiar with DLive have seen and enjoyed and had. And some of you on Odyssey have stickers, I guess. But although some of those stickers are basically pictures, sometimes they're GIFs. The Odyssey ones has like a pregnant male-looking person. Disgusting. What's wrong with Odyssey? But over there on cozy.tv, people keep on requesting stickers. So I finally looked into it, figured it out. With the help of the chat, and I actually have some pictures from JLP's sticker inspiration that I thought that I would share with you guys. If you can look in this folder, Chris, in no particular order, I wanted to share with you, and those of you who are listening on audio podcasts, I'll do my best to describe it in a good way, entertaining way, descriptive way. That's redundant. Anyway, enjoy these stickers inspiration for JLP chat, JLP Cozy chat. The first one was, well, let me just follow Chris's lead. He will put them up on the. I don't think that I was able to get this one up. This is Oprah Winfrey. It's a Getty Images picture. Shout out to Getty Images. But it's Oprah Winfrey doing the OK sign, double OK sign. It's a vintage photograph of her. She was much younger there than she is today, I assume, with her big hair. Big, good hair, though. That's not really... It's big, but it's more like Afro. It's not like Afro big. Anyway, she's doing the OK sign, which, we all know has been smeared and trolled first and then smeared as a white supremacist, white power symbol. The three fingers in the OK sign or some people say it's an Illuminati or something like that, 666. The three fingers that are going up are the W, and then the index finger and thumb coming together to make a ring forms like the circle part of the P, the letter P. White power. But it's funny. So Oprah Winfrey is a supporter. There is another guy, another black, iconic black. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Here's another Getty Images photo of the OK sign held up, the white power sign, held up by none other than that boxer guy who floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. He's dead now. He had a degenerative brain disease, I think, like Parkinson's or something. Not Parkinson's. Maybe Parkinson's. But yeah, that's Muhammad Ali. Better known, born Cassius Clay. What a beautiful name, Cassius Clay. And then he turns it to a slave Muslim black name, Muhammad Ali. What a sucker. Rest in peace. But he's doing the OK sign. Very nice. Here's another guy doing the OK sign. White power. Pope Francis, the Argentine. What's Pope Francis's real name? The socialist guy. And he's speaking, I guess this must have been during the Obama administration, because sitting behind him, I guess he's addressing a joint meeting of Congress, according to this NBC News chyron. Pope Francis, the Catholic guy who's ticked, and we've been suspecting that he's a liberal, perhaps even a socialist, perhaps even an SJW, a climate change believer, a racism believer, just kind of a dummy. He kisses up and plays patty cake and nicey nice with the gays, you know. And then sitting behind him is a much younger and healthier looking and more meat on his bones, Joe Biden. And then that smoker guy who cries in Congress and was controlled by nervous Nancy Pelosi, John Boehner. And his name is spelled differently from how it's pronounced. Boehner. John Boehner. What a sucker. Total rhino. But then you have the so-called vice president under Barack Obama sitting behind him. Sleepy Joe Biden. What a mess. Here's another one. Nervous Nancy Pelosi. Nervous Nancy. She's the so-called Speaker of the House, and she's been there for ages. She used to be pretty when she was young, by the way. Just a side note. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But she's doing the white power sign. What a mess. All of these... Or is this the 666 sign? 666. Some of you guys think that the OK symbol is one of those fraternity things. Terrible. Oh, what is this? This is a singer woman who used to be a sort of a country music singer, and now she's a pop singer. And she used to have like this interesting relationship with Kanye West, as in like an interesting sort of friendship, rivalry, enemy, who knows what. This is Taylor Swift, that singer. And is this real? Or is it photoshopped? She's purportedly standing on stage with, the outfit, and I think like a mic in her hand. And the other hand is outstretched, and she's like waving to the crowd, but it looks like one of those Roman salute things where, it's like a Nazi salute. And behind her is like this, is that a swastika in the back? No, that's got to be, come on. That can't be real. That's a pretty good Photoshop job if it is. I mean, if it's Photoshopped. But, she was this woman who sings, Taylor Swift, total degenerate now. She's touted Tennessee values because she's from Tennessee. I knew a guy who went to school with her. But she doesn't have Tennessee values. She supports the feminism. I don't think that this is real because she supports just the destruction of America. She's not pro-America. This is like it looks like an American flag with American colors, but then it has like a Hitler sign behind it, the swastika thing. Maybe it's a Indian symbol, because in India they use the swastika for like peace or wholeness or something. It's like a hooked cross or a wheel or something like that, sky wheel. Anyway, she's doing this sign. And here's a funny one. These are all sticker inspiration for JLP Cozy. Well, it was my inspiration. This is the Statue of Liberty, guys. Only the Statue of Liberty is not holding up his or her. It's a woman, huh? The Statue of Liberty is purportedly a female. Thank you, France. France sent that to us, right? It was made out of copper, and I think it was the color of copper. But then the color of copper, I guess, turns green. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And then, but in this one, he's not holding up his torch, or she's not holding up her torch. If it's a big person, I'm thinking it's a he, but it's a woman, I guess. She's not holding up her torch. She's pointing sideways, I guess, away from America and saying, you have to go back. And she's holding a AR-15 or AK, I think it's an AR, a gun, a rifle in her other hand instead of that book. Saying, you have to go back and get in line. Thank you, Statue of Liberty. Because the enemies of America use the Statue of Liberty to push because there's a placard that was placed later after the fact on the Statue of Liberty. Bring us your huddled masses, you're poor, you're broken, and we will be a shelter for you. Something like that. And then the dumb people at CNN, Jim Acosta or something like that, try to confront Trump and who's that based Jewish guy? Stephen Miller, who was in the Trump administration. an advisor, try to confront these guys with it, saying, you know, this is on the Statue of Liberty. You need to welcome immigrants. We're a nation of immigrants. Terrible, huh? And so the Statue of Liberty is being based here. Right on. This is one of my favorite ones. This was sent to me from a friend. Just having some fun here, guys. Having some fun. This is a painting, I guess. I assume it was done by a black artist. A painting of a body of water, green hills, some dirt roads, some ladies in the background in the water, and in the foreground is none other than Malcolm X. And some might think that this is sacrilegious. Malcolm X, who is a dead black activist, and the dead black rapper, Tupac Shakur, with his shirt off and his tattoos. And it looks like Malcolm X is like baptizing, as though Malcolm X is like John the Baptist, and he's baptizing the people to become good, good Christians or good repentant Jews or whatever. Saying, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is near. And maybe they can't be saying Tupac is like Jesus. They can't be saying that. But John the Baptist did baptize Jesus Christ. But no, it's funny. It's a funny picture to me. And this one is crazy. This is typical Washington, D.C. for you. Disgusting. So I came across this a year or so ago. One blue checkmark liberal on Twitter, this is another photograph, a photograph actually. Alexis Meow Diao on Twitter tweeted out a photograph of like a parking sign, no parking sign or 2-hour parking sign, and stated, if only all of DC's street signs were this straightforward, seen on 14th Street. And so apparently this is in Washington, D.C., the swamp, right? Disgusting. And there is a fake sign. I mean, it's a fake city sign in red and white. It looks like it's supposed to be a parking sign, but instead of being parking information, it reads, white supremacy kills black people. What? So apparently some street artist made a street sign looking thing and attached it to this street sign, parking sign post. And that's cute, real cute. Very straightforward, according to praises Alexis Diao, some dumb woman, right? Women, leave it alone. And then last one, I don't know, I'm assuming this is the last one. This is from, I think it might be from the JLP protest footage. I could be mistaken. But at some point I made this screenshot from like the 90s or something. Death to the racists, reads this sign. Death to the racists. So this has been, this murderous attack upon white people who tell the truth about what's going on. In other words, they're called racists. There are calls for death to people based on their politics for loving America or not hating white people or whatever. Death to the racists. So wrong. And it has a woman and a POC and all that other stuff. So sick. So sick. Anyway, that's that. Little super chat here related to this. Your girlfriend states, Hake speaks the way students write. I almost put a WH. Write. Hake states the way students write when teachers ask for a word minimum for an essay. It's part of your charm. Shout out to Hake. Well, thank you, your girlfriend. What's charming can also be annoying. So thank you for the heads up. Ari and Taylor Swift were the best memes, says Brandon M. Yeah. And there were there were so many different Taylor Swift memes where she was quoted as, or misquoted as saying things that stuff like what Hitler might have said, I don't know, or others. And I was like, wow, did she really say that? But, you know, I would say that the mainstream media, in reaction to that, some of the mainstream media, in reaction to that, called on her to address this. You have to address this. And so she went and totally like overcompensated, kissing up to everything evil. What a disgusting person. What a shame, huh? At one time, this Taylor Swift woman was quiet and classy about politics. But no, so sick. What a shame. So anyway, thank you, your girlfriend. Word minimum for an essay, so I'm like overly wordy, I guess. Part of your charm. Shout out to Hake. Thank you, your girlfriend. Thank you. So anyway, it is Thursday, guys. I am scheduled to be on Modern Day Debate tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. is the plan. It will be guest hosted by a guest host, not by James Kuntz. Shout out to James Kuntz, K-U-N-Z, I believe, who is the founder and host and man who runs the channel, the man behind Modern Day Debate. But I will be debating the question, is the Great Reset real? Against a young lady named Stardust. I don't think that that's her given or Christian name, Stardust. But I was asking you guys, help me out, because I don't really know much about the Great Reset. I just know that this Klaus Schwab guy and others behind like the World Economic Forum. And what is the World Economic Forum? I found out that they're in bed or subsidized or propped up. They've tricked many commie capitalist major companies to support them. And I'm going to go through and tell you what those commie capitalist companies are, I think. But it's pretty sick stuff. Klaus Schwab is a guy who's like old and has maybe a German accent, but I don't think he's a Christian. He certainly doesn't act like one. I think he co-founded World Economic Forum alongside, I could be totally mistaken on this, alongside George Soros. You know, that non-Christian, like an atheistic, Jewish, anti-decency, pro-Black Lives Matter, just a scumbag who's, I've heard, destabilized a lot of countries for like revolution because he has this agenda, ideological agenda or something. Or maybe he makes a whole lot of money off of making crises and then swooping in with false solutions. This is why I think that that's a description of what I consider to be the Great Reset. As you may know, Rahm Emanuel was in the Obama administration, same thing as the Biden administration, Rahm Emanuel, and then he became Chicago mayor, corrupt city Chicago mayor. And at one point he said, never let a crisis go to waste. And apparently that's like a famous line from I don't know what. There are others who say never let a crisis go to waste. And, you know, with every situation, there is an opportunity to do good or evil. And they do evil, thinking that they're good, some of them, perhaps. Or some of them know they're evil, don't care. You know, because oh my gosh, just the ego of people or of you when something comes over you to try to make somebody mad or whatever. Just do all kinds of evil thinking that you're good. Well, let me go through some of these people who are in bed with the Great Reset World Economic Forum. The Great Reset reminds me of this Build Back Better stuff, take advantage of never let a good crisis go to waste type of people, the ones who exacerbate a problem such as the China virus, which is not much of a problem. It is probably it did kill a lot of people, I assume. But the overreaction to it made the situation worse. And then they're like, oh, people are suffering. And it's pandemic. It's because of the pandemic. No, it's because of the shutdowns that you imposed. And it's the female mindset of just controlling people and making them suffer worse than they would have to suffer had you just let this thing run its course, right? Well, that's what they're doing. And so I listened to this whole like Zoom conference call between Klaus Schwab, some woman, and some female-minded males talking about, oh, the vulnerable people. The rich need to do more for the poor and the vulnerable. And then I'm like, man, this is kind of like homemade looking. You know, this World Economic Forum Zoom call. You can barely hear Klaus Schwab because he's like breaking up. Like he has a worse internet connection than some of my guests have when I've had guests on the show. And at some point they kind of cut out. That's the same thing that Klaus Schwab was happening with Klaus Schwab on this call. And so I'm like, this is hokey. What is this World Economic Forum? Who supports them? Maybe they're just nobodies. Well, no, it turns out they are evil, and they have the backing, strategic partnerships with, I'm going to name these commie capitalist companies to you because they have them alphabetically arranged. I'm not going to name all of them. I'm just going to name the ones that I recognize. First one, starting with the letter A, supporting this evil, whatever you call it, supporting evil, Amazon. We already know Amazon is evil because the same guy who owns Amazon bought the Washington Compost and declared war on America, saying democracy dies in darkness. What a sick person. Amazon banned the beautiful Confederate battle flag. You see this flag? If this flag was ever sold on Amazon, it's not anymore. And I bet you it was sold on Amazon at one point. Amazon, a so-called bookstore, right? Book burner store, more like. Nazi commies. That's what I call them. Bank of America. These banks. You go around like June or whatever to these banks and go to the ATM, and you see these little, support the gay agenda stuff, like gay pride. So wrong. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates, this angry liberal who pretends to be like so caring and stuff. And Melinda Gates is even worse than him. I think she's divorcing him, right? Or divorced. BlackRock, that company BlackRock is supporting this this is according to weforum.org. We Forum, World Economic Forum.org. weforum.org. BlackRock, that company that I told you about that was buying up a lot of houses, run by this billionaire, not Christian guy, Larry Fink, Lawrence Fink. Chevron, the gas station. Citibank, evil. Google, evil. Google is evil. You know they're evil because Alex Jones said so. He shouted it at that Indian guy who's the purported CEO of Google, which is Alphabet. So sick. Goldman Sachs. I don't know what Goldman Sachs is into, but anytime I hear their name, it's negative connotations. GE, General Electric. Look at these. IBM, computer company. Intel, computer chip company or something like that. JP Morgan Chase and Company. Johnson & Johnson, the one of the vaccine makers. They're not the messenger RNA vaccine maker, but they're not decent either. Johnson & Johnson been promoting the anti-white stuff and all kinds of things. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, which owns Instagram and censors people. Microsoft buys up Skype and makes it inferior. Now Skype has been overtaken by Zoom. They're evil. That's, I think, Bill Gates' company. MasterCard, Morgan Stanley. MasterCard, I think, has deplatformed whites and America-loving people, I think, and stopped supporting them. As in supporting them as in offering basic services to them, discriminating against them based on politics and race, Nestle, the chocolate company, right? And listen to this one. This is proof that Soros is involved. Open Society Foundations. That's George Soros's nonprofit or something like that. Open Society. How just end timesy does that feel to hear Open Society Foundation? It's like so pretending to be benign and positive and good. Oh, we are one world. Open society. So sick. PayPal, which doesn't service gun-related industry businesses. PayPal has deplatformed or stopped servicing many whites and Christians and non-Christians who love Christians, right? Like I think PayPal got rid of Stefan Molyneux. Evil PepsiCo, which supports Beyonce, Pfizer, Procter and Gamble, all these huge S&B Global, Salesforce, Siemens, Siemens, Coca-Cola Company, Uber Technologies, Unilever, UPS, Verizon, Visa, Volvo, Western Union, all evil. So crazy, huh? So if you support this, if you pretend, this great reset. I mean, I think the claim is that, it's not a conspiracy. Yeah, I know it's not a conspiracy. They're doing it right in front of your face. And the people are such... I'm using this term, kids, because it is, and parents, because it is a specific, it's a professional term. It's like a business term. It's jargon, political jargon. They are such useful idiots that they'll accept this. It's out in the open. The evil is out in the open. They're not even hiding, right? So sick. Anyway, so that's, people are such suckers that they think that this is a good thing. They couch it in language, and America and the world is so secularized and female-minded and intellectual, emotional, that they're like, yeah, we need to be globalist. We need to, the rich need to help the poor. And this is all a bunch of phony, false imitation of real morality, real God's law, And people are pretending, it's not a conspiracy. I mean, first of all, conspiracy implies secret, illegal, or kind of bad. For one, it's bad. For two, maybe there is some shenanigans being done behind the scenes. For sure, there's shenanigans being done behind the scenes with every government, and especially the world government types. So it's sick, it's evil, and it's not something to support. Build back better. That's just so like 1984, So wrong. Another super chat or two, guys. Lin Yan Chin states, charming is quality of charisma, and charisma is of character, and character is the profile or limitation of your individuation. Means your flaws are your charms. Single mama that is now somebody's girlfriend. What a mess. Lin Yan Chin trying to go after your girlfriend. I think they have like an ongoing feud going. But anyway, charming, the Bible says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. Okay, this is NIV, right? So the Bible might not actually say this because New International Version is globalist and liberal. But when I read the Bible, I read the NIV. I didn't know better. My mother gave it to me. Don't blame me. But so maybe I kind of like the translation because I grew up with it. But it says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So charm is, it might be what you said, Lin Yan Chin. Quality of charisma, of character, and character, the profile limitation of your individuation. Flaws are your charms. Okay. I don't think that your girlfriend is a single mama, but so you claim, Lin Yan Chin. Thank you. Lin Yan Chin really going hard against people. He went after Hassan and Ted Nugent and Ted Nugent's son yesterday. Wow. Brutal. Base America First has a super chat here. Gavin Newsom tweets a clearly staged photo of himself reading books. I haven't seen this. Claiming he's attempting to learn what other states fear. His book stack includes To Kill a Mockingbird, which was banned in California, and 1984. Who knew Gavin Newsom could read? Interesting. His book stack includes To Kill a Mockingbird, which I read in high school. That was the one that had Boo Radley, right? And it had Atticus Finch or something like that. Or Finch is the daughter. I don't know. Interesting. Boo Radley. What a name. And 1984, he was reading 1984 to learn what other states fear. I was expecting it to be related to the critical race theory stuff. Dumb. Let me Google this or search it. Sorry, guys. Oh, he does struggle with dyslexia, according to him. Deep struggles reading and writing and spelling. Interesting. But anyway, according to Fox News, Gavin Newsom was roasted for a photograph of him reading banned books he says that states are afraid of. And so he tweeted, I guess he tweeted something or posted on IG. Yeah, he posted on Twitter. Or he was slammed on Twitter. He was reading Beloved by Toni Morrison, a black female dumb person. I don't know if she's living. Reading some banned books to figure out what these states are so afraid of, he tweeted on Wednesday. He appeared to reference bills in states such as Tennessee that would require schools to scan their libraries and make sure all books are age appropriate and deem certain books obscene. And he got mocked for it. Interesting. Is this tweet still up or anything? Or did he delete the tweet because he got, what a mess. Anyway, you guys can call in. Thank you for the super chats, guys. I appreciate it. One more super chat came in here. Your girlfriend states, just so everyone knows, according to the all-knowing Google, Agenda 21 is a reference to the 21st century plan for a new world order, not a reference to the year 2021. Ah, thank you, your girlfriend. I did not know that. I had assumed that they had to change the name. Agenda 21 is 21st century. Thank you. And yeah, they want the people in the cities, crammed in the cities and using public transportation and stuff. So sick. Anyway, anybody here tired of hearing my voice? Let's get to some calls. You can call in 888-775-3773. By the way, Get a Job came out with Savage Moments. Let me just mention this. Get a Job came out with Savage Moments, Jesse Lee Peterson's Savage Moments. Number 82. That's cool. Shout out to Get a Job. I have his sticker right here. teespring.com/stores/get-a-job will redirect to the Creator Spring website for his stuff. And a lot of people come across JLP by way of Get a Job, which are like funny clips, but then they're also deep. And then people like start to pay attention and then start coming to church and all kinds of things. So that's cool. Never tired of your voice, Hake. Well, thank you, Beta Legs. That's cool. But people will be like, get to a call. Well, let me get to a call. Steve in New York City is on the line. Nice to hear from you, Steve, again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing your voice.
Nice.
Anyway, listen. I just read this about an hour ago. and I am mortified. This is probably old news, but I didn't hear about this. California legislation would decriminalize killing newborns.
Decriminalize it?
Yeah, decriminalizing killing newborns. Like,
where'd you? Do you remember where you heard this?
I'll send you a link to the story. I'll send you a link to the legislation that's on the California website. This is insane. It is insane. I wanted to call you like.
Oh, okay. So, National Review, a rhino outlet, anti-Trump, just disgusting. But sometimes they give out decent information. National Review, according to Wesley J. Smith, March 25th, now a California bill to permit infant death by neglect. Kind of reminds me of what JLP said that Barack Obama supported as a senator or something like that. He voted multiple times to, if there is a botched abortion in which the baby survives, let the baby die on the medical table. That's what JLP says that Barack Obama voted that way multiple times, infanticide. So I guess that's what Maryland has a bill like that, something like that, and now California, allegedly. Go ahead, Steve.
This is one of the things that I said. I called up the Jesse Lee Peterson show this morning, and I said to Jesse, I said, listen, we have to do something. We need to do something. Everybody listening should have in their speed dial, in their contact list, their senator, all of the senators' office numbers, because senators have multiple offices that we're paying for.
Yeah.
They have multiple phone numbers. And our representatives.
Oh, yeah.
They have multiple offices, and we're paying them. We're paying them. They better put the... I call up my senator, Chucky Schumer, and that other broad, and the other Alexandria Ocasio, whatever.
Right.
I call them, and I leave messages at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I don't like this bill. This is not right. We have to do something. And Jesse Lee says good men are not doing what they need to do. That's what the theme of his thing was today. And I'm going to tell you, we got to get involved. Call them. If Adolf Hitler was elected president and we were all doing their jobs, our jobs, Adolf Hitler, the president, would not be able to do anything when we're watching. So we got to watch, and we got to do, and we got to say, and we got to call, and we got to let them know that 10 million people are against him. 30 million.
Your tactic may be one way to do it, for sure. It is good to call. I think calling is sometimes more powerful, more imposing, more intimidating than just sending an email or whatever. So
emails are not going to do anything.
Yeah.
They do not answer emails. Never, ever, ever in their history.
It's nice to go and it's nice to be able to confront them where you can, in a totally, it has to be in a way that's you're not putting yourself at risk, because people get overly confrontational and get themselves arrested when it's not time to be arrested,
I have a friend.
Go ahead.
I have a friend that shook, what's his name? The former senator of New York, Pataki. He grabbed his hand and he yanked him towards him. And he says, "We know what you're doing, and we're going to stop you."
Wow.
And I let go of his hand. And I was like,
did anything happen to him?
No, nothing happened to him. It was like he was pushed aside by that was it. It was like, we know what you're doing, and we're going to watch. So what he basically said, it was something not non-threatening.
Yeah.
In the context, like you can't say, "Yeah, we're gonna hurt you." You say that, he's going to jail. But if you say, "Hey, we're watching you,"
yeah,
I mean, they could do whatever they want, and say, "Oh, he threatened me." No,
Right.
you know, but they, you know, the look on his face was incredible. I saw it. It was like, holy cow! You know, let me get away from this guy.
Yeah. Interesting, man.
These are our servants.
I know.
These are our servants.
And they treat us like we're their slaves.
Yeah.
Or serfs.
We have to
or
understand
servants.
that those people that we elect are our servants. That's it.
Well, I appreciate
Not
it, man.
official. All right, no problem, man.
Good to
Take
hear
care.
from you. All right. Take care. Let me elaborate a little bit on these abortion-related bills, baby-killing bills or baby destruction bills. National Review, March 25th, Wesley J. Smith, I mentioned this in that call. California bill to permit infant death by neglect. And this man, Wesley J. Smith, I assume is a man, right? You never know, even with conservative outlets. But anyway, he says, a little while ago, I highlighted a shocking Maryland bill that would essentially decriminalize neglecting an infant to death in the perinatal period. Perinatal, perinatal period, i.e., through the first 28 days after birth, by preventing investigations and prosecution of such deaths that resulted from, quote unquote, a failure to act, quote, a failure to act, unquote. He says that he was interviewed several talk radio programs, asked what the sponsor was thinking. His most charitable thought was that he was unaware of the definition of perinatal. That defense is now inoperative. Bill was just filed in the California legislature, even worse than the Maryland legislation. First, it would seem to create a broad claim, according to this Wesley person at National Review, which is a reputable outlet, although they're rhinos and enemies of America in many ways. Sometimes they have good information. They're somewhat so-called conservative. Probably not Christian by and large. But anyway, this guy says that it would create a broad claim for people who give birth. There's that line, kissing up to the non-binaries and transgenders, because they say, oh, a man can give birth. People who give birth, meaning women, pregnant mothers, to choose not to be a parent, a mother, right? That is not limited to not getting pregnant, or in the context of the overall bill, abortion. Somehow this is called reproductive justice, and given a racial tinge. From AB 2223, he says there is a right to have children, right not to have children. This is direct quotes from this section 1 of this bill. Let's see. And there shall be no civil and criminal penalties for people's actual, potential, or alleged pregnancy outcomes. It also applies to perinatal outcomes, the first 28 days after you're born, right? Or a child is born, as well as postpartum care. And every individual possesses a fundamental right of privacy with respect to personal reproductive decisions, meaning you can kill the baby, right? About all matters related to pregnancy, prenatal care, childbirth, postpartum care, contraception, sterilization, abortion care. So funny. Killing the baby type of health care. Ridiculous. Miscarriage management, infertility care. A person shall not be subject to civil or criminal liability or penalty or otherwise deprived of their so-called rights based on their actions or omissions with respect to their pregnancy or actual potential alleged pregnancy outcome, including miscarriage, stillbirth, or abortion, or perinatal care. Wow. Wow. So according to National Review, in Virginia and California, they have stuff like this. Remember, this man brings up in a different bill, in a different article, Wesley J. Smith, Maryland bill effectively decriminalizes neglecting newborns to death, according to him. He says, remember when Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, remember that guy? He's a so-called doctor. He dressed in blackface, and he endorsed letting the baby die, apparently, or after the baby was born. But the more outrageous thing was the blackface. Oh, no. But he denied it, and I think he's still in office to this day. I could be mistaken. Who's the Virginia governor right now?
To this day!
Governor. Who's the Virginia governor? Oh, it's Glenn Youngkin. Okay. My bad. Who's the Republican? But anyway, then former governor Ralph Northam blessed the right of a mother and her so-called doctor to, quote, have a conversation, unquote. He was on a radio show saying this. It was covered by Tucker Carlson of Fox News, I think. And decide to neglect a newborn survivor of abortion, neglect it to death. The child to death. Not an it, a he or a she, right? Well, now a Maryland bill would effectively decriminalize Northam's immoral proposal without regard to abortion. Whoa, so it's not even after a botched abortion. It's just born. They didn't even try to kill the baby inside the womb. They're going to let the baby die outside the womb, according to this guy. Crazy. Reiterates current law that deprives fetuses, meaning unborn children, of all rights, meaning they could be the subjects of live experimentation when technologically feasible, according to SB 669 over there in Maryland. Maryland is near D.C., by the way. Some people who call in from Maryland also say they're from Washington, D.C., because it's that close. Sick. So Washington, D.C., very corrupt, anti-white, anti-Christian, and very gross. That's where Comet Pizza is, by the way. The one that's run by it's a pizza place and bar. They serve alcohol. Run by a not morally straight person. So wrong, right? Shamelessly so, too. Let's see. This section may not be construed to authorize any form of investigation or penalty for a person who terminating or attempting to terminate the person's own pregnancy or experiencing a miscarriage, perinatal death related to a failure to act or stillbirth. Wow. So let the baby die on the medical table, as JLP has often said in speeches regarding the stuff that Barack Obama supported. A person may bring a cause of action or for damages if the person was subject to unlawful arrest or criminal investigation for a violation of this section as a result of perinatal death. Wow. Crazy, huh? Who are the radicals? And I told you in Hake News about this stuff. Where did I see that? Oh, yeah, baby killing at the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson show today. Several state legislatures, according to CNN, have advanced bills restricting abortion access. Stupid buzzwords, right? Access. Communist buzzword, right? A growing number of GOP-led states looking to chip away at abortion rights, the right to kill your baby, in the United States. Arizona Governor, Republican, Doug Ducey signed a bill on the 15 weeks, supposedly. And Kentucky, similar bill passed by the state's House and Senate, 15 weeks. Also restricts the access to abortion for minors, meaning you're under 18, you're a girl under 18, and no, it's not good for you to kill the baby inside your womb. Or maybe they're saying, like, you have to get parental consent, you know? You're still a minor under control of your parents, but not according to the dumb liberals. Oh no, you should be able to kill your baby. I think the Trump administration was sued by the ACLU and forced to pay for the abortion, to give an abortion to an illegal alien some years back. So sick, huh? That's the American so-called Civil Liberties Union. Idaho, abortion providers asking the state Supreme Court to strike down the state's new 6-week abortion ban, which mimics the controversial Texas law. So sick, huh? Men need to start taking over this anti-abortion fight, right? This pro-life fight. Because right now, the women are just too soft and too nicey nice. They even opposed Trump. The women who run the pro-life women, many of them opposed Trump at first, who was like a man for being a man, too. They were like anybody but him, but he was like the best thing for their cause, but they don't see it because they're blind. Suckers. Let's see. Oh, this law is it Idaho is similar to Texas's law. It allows individual citizens to bring lawsuits again anywhere in the country too. Anywhere in the country. If you know of a Texas so-called doctor or anybody who's like providing an Uber drive or Uber Lyft to somebody to go to the abortion mill to kill their baby in the womb, to kill the man's baby in the womb, you can sue that person. Anywhere in the country, a citizen can bring a lawsuit against them and against so-called medical professionals who performed prohibited procedures, right? What's that word? The euphemisms that these people use. The euphemisms, they say it in such a nice way so that you forget that it's killing a baby in the womb, right? Or outside. Let me get to a call or two, guys. A first-time caller, Dan, is in Florida. We are near the top of the hour here, but I want to get to a call. Dan in Florida, thank you for calling. How are you doing?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
I wanted to ask, because I'm like anti-government and all that, and I would never abort my own child or anything like that, but
Right.
I wanted to ask, do you think it's the government's place? And if somebody does want to kill their own kid, maybe it's better that their bloodline does get extinguished, you know?
I know what you mean, but no, I disagree with that. I think it is the government's role, or, maybe not the federal. I don't think that the feds should really get, I don't know if the feds should get involved. But anyway, what about like a local, like a state government or a local government? The men of the town, should the men of the town impose on women in that town who want to kill their babies?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get that it's like, the child's defenseless and should have a right to grow up and
the father has the right to his son or daughter as well. And
yeah, it's tough for me it's a good question for me, because it's like I just can't, like, it increases the power of the government, and it gets the government more into your bedroom and stuff like that, It's
not getting into your bedroom, though. If you think about it, like abortion, killing a baby, that is a pretty drastic thing. And I argue that many of these women who have committed abortions already have children. And the children who are alive, who are being raised, they're being raised by women who have killed their conscience. And so they are more cruel, they're more guilt-ridden. In some cases, these women are guilty, have a guilty conscience, whether they realize it or not, or acknowledge it or not. Which, either way, it's kind of bad for them to have guilt, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes them even worse mothers, having committed the abortion, than saying, oh, you would be a bad mother anyway because you want to kill your child, I think that we're creating a more wicked, heartless, cruel, and evil society by allowing killing. I mean, why even have murder be outlawed at that point,
I guess murder's outlawed for a good reason, so
yeah.
This could be classified under murder.
Yeah, it's a form of a murder. And
yeah,
so
I was kind of rationalized it with myself, where I was like, well, at least they're not reproducing.
I know, but in reality, they still are reproducing, and they're also spreading their evil agenda, and so it's just spreading evil. So it's not I disagreed with Richard Spencer on this too, because he's like, oh, it's killing off like criminal class. It's diminishing the criminal class. But no, I think it's expanding the criminal class. And there's more evil in the world than just crime too, because these people are for all kinds of wrong, So don't be such a lolbertarian. Are you a libertarian?
Well, I was. Trump helped me get off that a little bit.
Oh, cool.
And, helped me see the light. But I get where you're coming from, and I get it. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man. Would you if you're I don't know if you're married, but if your girlfriend or wife, say God forbid you made your wife pregnant, or your girlfriend pregnant. No, the wife, yes, you should, but the girlfriend pregnant. Would you impose on her and say, no, you're not getting an abortion? I don't care.
Yeah, and I think I would love there to be more, laws in place or something where the father said, hey.
Reproductive rights for the father. The father has the right to his reproduction. So.
Because the woman is an emotional creature, and they catch on to these stigmas and this like you said, the nice words like pro-choice and stuff like that make it sound like freedom.
I know.
I am going to be a daddy in about a month for the first time. So
nice. Congratulations. Are you married?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm married.
Right on. Are you Christian?
No, I'm like JLP kind of got me into God a little bit.
Okay.
But I'd never been, so I kind of do the JLP thing where I'm like, I'll beg for forgiveness and stuff like that. But I don't know. I look up into the sky and I'm like, I don't know.
Are you white?
Yeah.
And your wife is the one who's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And she's white. And is she white?
Yeah, she's white too. We're making white babies.
Nice. Congratulations and thank you.
Yep, thank you.
You said in about a month, huh?
Yep. Coming soon.
In time for, I guess, Easter and White History Month. Very cool.
Yep, exactly. We'll be celebrating White History Month with you all.
Well, it's great to hear from you, man. Call me again sometime, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Maybe I'll see you at the men's conference. Take care.
Okay. Is it in Orlando?
I assume so. I cannot predict the future, but men's conference is usually, lately, it's going to be in August, which is Men's History Month. And last year it was in Orlando, Florida. And this year, perhaps, we shall announce, because I don't want to give you any information until it's arranged.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Good. I'll be there.
All right. Take care. Guys, before I get back to calls and super chats, quick super chat. Got to read this one. It's related to the abortion thing. John WX25, and then we'll play some music. Since 1/2 of black babies are aborted in New York alone, multiple years, blacks killed more babies in New York, I think New York City specifically, than were born. Half the black babies are aborted in New York alone. Then why no Black Lives Matter protests on the basis of genocide? Yet Tony, brain dead, thinks you hate, quote unquote, blacks? Quote unquote, hate blacks? I know, John WX25. Maybe we will have an answer from him on this subject. I think he might be on the line. So we will get to calls, entertaining blacks. And you can call in too, even if you're not black. And we'll talk more about this gay trans agenda and stuff. But time to get to some music. 6 Organs of Admittance is what I've been playing, guys. And I've been playing songs from the album called The Sun Awakens. It's a 2006 album on Drag City Records. 6 Organs of Admittance. This is called Attar, A-T-T-A-R. I don't know what that means. I don't know what type of name that is. I don't think that these people are Christians, but at least it does not have outright blatant satanic words to it, I don't think. Unless Attar is a satanic word. Sorry, kids and adults. But enjoy. Cover your ears, you musical Philistines. Press mute. Go shovel the snow. Go pick cotton or grin and bear it, and I'll be right back to talk you through it. It's only 3 minutes long, so I'll be right back for the rest of hour 2. Hang tight, guys. What in Tarzan music is this? Asks Ian Riot. Or exclaims Ian Riot. Yeah, I know. Grin and bear, says Dan East. Shout out to the Odyssey people. Got some super chats to read from Asmodor over there. Catherine Payne says, I actually like this. Nice. Thank you. Kind of good for now. Allahu Akbar. Attar is Arabic, says Jake N 1987. Muslim music. Hake needs a manicure, says Misty. Shout out to Misty. How are the D-Live crew people doing? I am demonetized on D-Live, but the D-Live crew remains. Very cool. Shout out to the Facebook crew as well. I like this. Good selection there, James. Thank you, Tim Scott. I appreciate that, man. Attar is some kind of oil? Asks Jake, or states Jake with a question mark at the end. Well, thank you. They might have gotten a little carried away there. I can relate to Dan East saying, having to grin and bear it. You musical Philistines. Got a few super chats, a few more super chats to read here. Your girlfriend states, conservatives 20 years ago, life begins at conception. 20 years later, struggling to pass the heartbeat law in Texas, and liberals killing live-birthed babies in California. I know. Yeah, good point. We just surrender ground, surrender ground, surrender ground. Gays in the movement, all shameless and proud, and congratulations for adopting or having babies by way of surrogacy. Hey, Asmodor says, I actually kind of liked that. Referring to the music? Oh, cool. Asmodor states in a super chat, referring to my caller, Dan from Florida, who's a recovering lolbertarian. So I go easy on him, right? Asmodor states, this caller thinks that the will of some murderous slut outweighs the will of God and the right of a child to live. This type of libertarianism is the lowest form of being led around by the nose and controlled while believing you are thinking for yourself. Yeah. I'm thinking that he's starting to snap out of that, though. I might have changed his mind, even. Asmodor states, Ma, keep the government out of my bedroom. People say, Ma Constitution. At least I got Ma Constitution. And they're mocking the boomer types and the others who think that, they have like a pet issue that is irrelevant to the protecting or the preserving of the country. And so, Ma, keep the government out of my bedroom. So he's mocking that. I'm explaining it for the people who may not know, the boomers. Shout out to the boomers. Love ya. I love boomers. If I love anybody. The government is 100% out of bedrooms. They're also out of the, unless it's a Me Too claim against a man in which he had a type of sex that the woman decided she didn't want later, you know? They're also out of the wholesome morality business. And how has this been working out for society? Society has been in major decline. Thank you for the super chats there, Asmodor. It's some clarity for you. Perhaps that will be help to our lolbertarian friend, Dan from Florida. Nice. He said that even Trump helped him out of that. That's cool. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool. I'm chuckling because this chat happened to catch my eye. And maybe I'll share what's so funny with you guys, right? Because some people wonder, what's Hake doing laughing so much, seemingly at nothing? Is it just nervous laughter? Well, in some cases, yeah, it may be a bad habit. But in other cases, it is a lack of discipline because I'm reading the chat and getting distracted. And let me just share this chat with you. Jason Scholl over there on YouTube says, Hake gonna wear one of those black cubes on his forehead with a red ribbon wrapping around his arm 7 times. That doesn't sound Christian. I could be mistaken, but I don't think that that's a Christian practice. So I don't think that I will be wearing one of those black cubes around my forehead with a red ribbon wrapping around my arm 7 times. But thank you for the accusation that caught my eye. And it seemed like a funny picture. Miklo says, Hake, I'm dealing with patients wearing 2 masks. Poor lost soul. Yeah, I know. I hear that I heard from, let me just tell you, a side note, some appreciation for another co-host of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, another guest host of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Did you guys catch Hassan yesterday? And Chris was kind of co-hosting with Hassan a little bit, and that's cool. It was quite interesting. He mentioned something that I hadn't heard, which a lot of you probably had heard, like Fauci, Dr. Fauci, phony Fauci. Then I will get to calls, guys. He is talking allegedly, and Hassan said it, and he doesn't lie, talking about bringing masks back because the China virus is getting allegedly out of control again with this B.2, something like that, a variant of the Omicron variant, right? Is that the South Africa one? The South Africa mutation that doesn't hit as hard as other China virus strains, mutations? But it's like spreading a lot and stuff, and it's hurting the vulnerable, which, yeah, I understand that might. But Fauci wanted to bring back the masks. And people have been saying in my debate, oh, it's not going to happen. It's going to be weaker strains. No new strong strain is going to come out. Well, you don't know that. And the government is such a power grabby type of people. I did not disavow D-Live minus Misty. I like D-Live. At least I like the people there in my chat. But the government is not going to let go of power. These people are power-hungry people. Yeah, it's going to kind of come and wane and ebb and flow or whatever. But come on. Come on. One other thing, in appreciation of Hassan, who guest hosted the Jesse Lee Peterson Show yesterday when JLP was out. And I caught part of that Catholic church militant discussion. That was cool. But one thing that Hassan did that was very different from me, I think, I noticed, was that he's quite succinct in his reactions to people and his introductions of clips and things. He played his clip of, I think it was Janet Yellen of the Fed, talking about like gas prices or something having been more expensive at a different time in this century, meaning like 20 years ago or something like that. And he introduced it by saying, look at this dumb lady. Listen to her, basically. Say something dumb. What an idiot. But he says stuff that's just short and to the point, and it makes causes you to think more. Whereas I may over-explain sometimes, some people say. Very interesting. Different styles. It was quite cool. I liked it. I'm chuckling because I'm just thinking back at his delivery and stuff. He did a nice job, I thought. Thank you, Hassan, coming in there. He comes to church with Jesse Lee Peterson. Let me get to William in California. He's on the line. William, how are you doing?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you.
Right on. Hey, the music.
Yeah.
Look at you already with your expression already. It was good, James.
Nice. Appreciate that.
It was good. Very much so like a Hendrix approach. I was telling Nick about that.
Cool.
And he said he could hear that as well.
Right on.
That wasn't too bad, man. It's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it's that they're Christians. Normally, I like to play Christian music that I listened to way back. But I really like this band, and they're minimal on the lyrics. Ben Chastney is the guitarist. 6 Organs of Admittance. That song was called Attar.
Pretty good guitarist.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'd have to admit he's a pretty good guitarist. I've been looking at, I stay looking at what's happening in the news, and I look at all outlets of it, not just a conservative point of view. I go ahead and look at CNN, and I'll compare these stories and everything. But we have a real problem with the black kids right now. They're extremely angry,
Yeah.
violent. And I seen that clip about the track meet. It was just totally out of control. And I don't know. It's more like not something more on a, like I was telling Nick, it's not so much a conservative liberal thing. It's time to really, really take responsibility with your children. I don't have any myself. I'm kind of glad now, but it's a big issue. And it's pointing right to the black woman. And I know you're going to probably get some calls after this because you know you're not supposed to say anything bad about them. But can you show me a city that's ran by a black woman that's ran very well?
No.
Or a school?
Washington, D.C., Atlanta for a
Or
while,
any
I think.
judges, any senators,
Baltimore.
any congresswomen?
Yeah.
Show me one. Point me one. And I know you're going to get your usual calls in after I call. Oh, he hates black people. No, I do not. No, I do not.
I know.
I really think this is a serious concern that shouldn't be joked about. It really should be looked at.
And the Supreme Court now. We'll see.
I mean, you affirmative actioned the courts. That, you know, I challenge anybody to call in and tell me how good this woman is, because she's not.
Yeah.
And if you argue that, that makes you a retard.
Whoa, don't say that R word. I think that's hate
Whatever.
speech against the.
You know what?
I disavow that word. Not that I
okay.
don't. Not that I don't like the word, but come on.
Oh well, okay.
Just to be
R-word.
safe. Just to be safe.
Just to be safe. Disclaimer. Okay, you guys, this is some serious concern, and I'm looking at the level of violence, and, you know, you can't point to me one school teacher that's a black female that's doing a good job. You can't show me a black neighborhood that white people will break their necks to move in either.
Yep.
And I wonder, going off that, I wonder if Joe Biden secretly wants Ukraine to be completely destroyed because of the corruption in that country. Makes me wonder.
Don't know. Interesting,
You
William.
know? Yeah, I mean, it makes me wonder. Asimov, he knows about this. If you know anything, there's no strike against the Vietnamese people that came here, but South Vietnam was extremely corrupt. You know, and we were there to help them.
We were helping South Vietnam, huh?
Correct.
Against communist North Vietnamese.
North Vietnam, yeah.
What a mess.
South Vietnam was really, if you look into it, they were extremely corrupt.
Yep.
And so is Ukraine.
Interesting. I did not know that. I didn't. Although it does not surprise me.
Well, Asimov can probably finish it off really good because, you know, he's a good history.
Yeah, there's a few history buff guys, and you know, I
Yeah.
talked about not knowing much and not necessarily needing to know much, but I appreciate the people who know, and it's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean,
It's quite,
you know, some
especially
of
if
the
they
stuff
can
you remember.
think clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just kind of something to it where it's like the actions that the president is taking is actually not helping the Ukrainian people. I think it's just really finishing them off and
Okay,
destroying.
I have a chat for you that I see from one top oracle in the live chat on YouTube. Says,
Top Oracle, that's, I think that's Joe in Phoenix.
Yeah, Joe from Phoenix, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He says, William, stop smoking so much pot and learn something.
I don't check this out.
Okay.
Check this out, Joe. Joseph, I don't smoke weed, and you need to stop speculating.
I wanted you to clear that up because I didn't.
Yeah, okay, stop speculating,
Nice.
Joe. I actually respect some of your opinions.
It was just a figure of speech.
I don't agree with him, but I mean, I don't have to go out of my way to disrespect that man.
Maybe he was just using a figure of speech, as in, like, it's crazy
Well,
talk.
And if he wants me to take it in a jokingly way, I'll go ahead and do that. But
All
no,
right.
Joe, I don't smoke herb. It's all good.
I wanted to make sure because, you know, people say things and then rumors get started.
They always speculating. They think they know you and they don't. They dox you. I think anybody that doxes anybody is a coward.
Yeah, that's evil, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
But thank you, man. I gotta keep going. Take care, William.
Keep going, man. Take care.
All right. So, let me get to Tony in California. Tony, how are you doing? How the heck are you?
Wonderful, sir. How in the heck are you, Hake?
I'm doing fine. I have a couple of questions for you before you run. But
Run? I never run. Y'all the one that hang up.
yeah, true. Because you like to talk. You're like a shameless liar. Anyway.
No, I tell the truth, and y'all can't stand it. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, can I ask you my questions first? Then I will then.
Yes.
Go
ahead. Go ahead.
I forget what the one that I came up with today was, but your girlfriend, I believe, gave a super chat asking, "Hey, ask Tony how AB 5 bill affects his business." You familiar with the AB 5 California bill about independent contractors?
It haven't affected me none at all. I mean, right now, I'm doing well out here. You know,
Okay,
I got trucks all over America.
So you have a trucking business, and I don't want to get into your personal life or dox you or put you in any harm's way. But
Yes,
is a trucking businessman? Are you an employee of a trucking company, or are you a independent contractor, or do you have drivers? You own a company.
I own a company. I have people that's leased onto my company, and I do have my own trucks and drivers.
Okay.
To my company.
And so they were not independent contractors. They were employees of yours. Were you operating in California?
No. I have 5 people that's leased on to my authority.
Leased?
And they run all over the United States.
Including California?
Including California, yes.
And so they're not independent contractors?
Yes. The ones that's leased on, yes. Yes, they are. Then I have 4 trucks that belongs to me. And they run it in California too.
Are you familiar with this AB 5 law?
No, I'm not. What is it?
Really?
No, I haven't heard nothing about it.
Oh yeah, it came out like 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe 3.
What is it? Something dealing with the emissions?
No, it has nothing to do with emissions or trucking specifically. It's about independent contractors who work in the same field as the company that they're contracted to.
I understand what you're saying. They're supposed to be. They got them. The employees are being under the 1099.
Yeah.
Like they're a contractor. Yeah, that's illegal. No, I don't do that. No. You're an employee. I take taxes out your wages.
Right, and so then you're forced to provide also some benefits to them too as employees rather than as independent contractors.
I have workman comp for them.
Yeah.
And I also have I have Medicare insurance on them.
Did you have to change up your business model when that law came out, or you already had them as employees?
No, everything I do is legal.
No, I'm saying before this law, because before this law you could do independent.
No, I did not. I did not put them under a contract. No.
Okay.
No. I kept it legal.
All right.
Because I knew it was illegal for that to happen. I mean, that's a way for you, for most people. I know a guy had 100 and some trucks. He down the 4 trucks behind that mess. Yes.
But it didn't used to be illegal, and in the rest of the states it's legal, right?
It was going to catch up with you. It was going to catch up with you sooner or later. He didn't have workman comp, and that really tore him out the frame. You know.
Who's that?
This other guy, I know the guy. He had 100 and some trucks, and his drivers was tearing his trucks up, wrecking them, and they started suing them. And then finally, California got a hold of them saying, "Why you don't have workman's comp for your 100 and some employees?"
Uh-huh.
And then next thing I know, they threw all kinds of fines, shut them down, and all that. So yes, I mean you got to keep your ears open, your mouth shut, and your eyes open to see what's really going on. Then do accordingly what's right.
Somebody is asking, Asmodor is asking, how do you take taxes out of the wages of lessees, the people who are leasing? That's not how it works.
No, not I say my employees, the ones that drive the ones that leasing, they are contractors.
Because leasers, the ones who are leasing, are not employees. So you have some contractors.
They are leasing my authority.
Okay, so those
guys
under
my authority, but they got their own insurance and everything.
And do they drive in California?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
They own and operate. They own their own trucks. They just use my authority to run legally.
Whatever. So it has not
Now-
affected you in any way, huh?
No, sir. No, sir.
You're one of the lucky ones, I guess.
No, I'm not. I don't believe in luck. That's a white man word.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I forget what the other chat was about. Somebody.
Well, the other chat was for the guy from yesterday talking about rap music.
No.
I wanna
There
address
was
that.
somebody who had a question for you. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, well, okay. I can't help you on that. Then.
Yeah,
You can't
but
remember.
go ahead with your question.
Okay, with the situation, a guy called in yesterday from Ohio, and he was talking about his daughter, somebody in the black community shot her cousin, that she turned around and shot herself because she knew she had did wrong. Once again, the black rap music, not all, but most, had destroyed the communities of black. But the reason why, if you say get to the root of the problem, what they say, like a goat, get to the root of the problem. The root is the producers, the promoters. They want violence. They want anything that corrupt, anything that degrade, anything to keep the prison cells open for blacks to go in and the graveyard open for blacks to fall in. That's all it's about. It's the white producers of this music.
Those are not normal whites, man.
Wait a minute, brother. Let me speak. You want to hear
I will.
the truth?
Yeah. I'm enjoying
Okay.
this. I've never heard this out of you.
If it ain't violent, if it ain't degrading, if it ain't negative, they're not going to produce it. They're not going to cut that record for you. Because more violent than it is, more corrupt than it is, more money that you're going to make in your pocket, and they don't care who listens to it because they know more and more you listen to this song, just like your show. More and more you listen to it, more and more you're going to believe it. That's how the rap music is. Same way that you and Jesse's show is. More and more you listen to it, you're going to believe it. Regardless what the truth is, you're going to still believe it because you're hearing it over and over and over again. It's a psychological trick, a brainwashing. That's all it is. And that's why the young people today are so messed up in these projects and these low income communities because they just listen to this junk.
Interesting,
and
man.
it's corrupting their mind. That's all it is. And it's not, and like I said, the root is the producer, and the producer is a white man.
No, the producer is not Christian, not a normal white. Many of those producers.
Bro,
Yeah.
please, come on. Don't keep talking about this Christian because there ain't no real Christian out here. All y'all corrupt.
But I'm telling
It's
you, the
all
producers
about
are not. Those
It's
producers.
all about money.
Those
Christianity is all
producers
about
are not
money.
Christians, Tony. That's my point.
It don't make no difference. He's white.
No, he's not. He's not white.
Majority, not all.
Majority of those
Christians say, but most.
producers. Majority of those producers feel sorry for the blacks. They support the black mess. They support the black agenda, including Obama and all that stuff. Those producers are Jewish people.
No.
And they feel a kinship with you because they hold on, man. Let me respond to you.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, they feel a kinship with you blacks because you blacks have a victimhood, anti-white victimhood that they also share. They have an anti-white victimhood. These producers whom you call white, they're not normal whites, man. And on top of that, a deeper point is that's not the root, man. This rap music is not what's causing. It is sort of a vicious cycle because it's a bad influence on the kids. I grant you that.
Thank you.
But that's not the root. This is not the root. You can't even blame the Jews because that's not the root of the issue. The root of the issue is the evil of your own heart. And those blacks who are participating in that are responsible for themselves. You can't blame the Jewish producers or white producers, in your words, for their bad actions.
Let me educate you on something, my friend.
Thank you.
Most white kids listen to this rap music than black kids. Okay.
Yeah, but we don't take it seriously as much. We white kids who listen to this rap music. I'm interrupting you, and I will let you talk, but I'm just going to briefly interrupt to make this point. The whites and the Asians and the Hispanics, well, the Hispanics to a lesser extent, who listen to this rap music, we think it's funny. We think it's like a kind of, we listen to it ironically. It is very catchy. We're not taking on their lifestyle At least not as much as the blacks are taking on that lifestyle.
Well, come on,
Go
my
ahead.
friend. I mean, come on now. If it comes from black, it gonna be black. I mean, that don't what you just said don't make no sense. White boys wear their saggy paint. White boys walk around with dreadlocks. White boys put loops in their ear right there. Look at the guy right beside you in there. He got a big old loop. He can't
That's
get
not
rid
from
of. He
rap
wish he
culture,
never had
man.
it. Huh?
That's
That
not
is black
from.
culture. What
No,
you
it's
say?
not.
If-
Name
if
me
you
one
like,
rapper. Name me one rapper with the hoop.
You still lying.
Hold on,
What?
Tony. I
It
got it.
came from Africa.
We need to.
It came from Africa.
Chris,
bro.
come clear your name.
Yeah,
Tony.
clear, but he
What the
can't
heck are
clear
you
that
talking
ear
about,
lure.
Tony?
Tony, name me one rapper who has gauges in his ears whom Chris listened to and decided to imitate.
It's not a rapper. It comes from the black culture of Africa.
All right. Name one African
if you do,
who has hoops in his
research
ears that
this.
Chris decided to
Research
imitate.
this. Research it. Research it. Where it started at? Where the origin of loops in the ear? Africa.
Vikings.
Ain't no
That's
white
disgusting.
European had
It
no
was the
loops in their ear.
Vikings.
Vikings, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whites are more inventive than the blacks, I say.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Vikings.
Oh, really? That's
Same
a-
thing with
that's
the long
another lie.
hair, dreads, the
Hey,
beards.
Turn
look
on
at-
the AC, please. AC,
Hey,
what's getting hot in
kind
here?
What kind of cult Jesse got y'all doing over there, bro? Everybody over there got a beard. What's up with that? Y'all cult?
What? No, a lot of people have beards. I'm gonna step away briefly.
No. Everybody that worked for Jesse and that on TV got a beard. That's a cult, bro.
What are you
That's a
talking
Christian-
about?
that's a
We're,
Christian cult.
we're not
Y'all
a
sound
cult.
like- Y'all
For having
sound like
beards?
Jehovah's Witnesses, but the opposite
Turn
way.
on the AC, please.
We have beards. We're men.
Oh, really? A man? Oh, so you got to be a man to wear a beard? Is that what you're saying?
Are you
No,
African so that you can't grow a beard, Tony, or do you have any white in you so that you can grow a
I
beard?
don't desire to have a beard, my friend.
Can you
I have
grow
a
one?
mustache.
Can you grow a beard?
I can if I desire, yes, but I don't desire.
Well, I
But the
desire
thing
to grow a
is,
beard.
everything
so-
y'all do is y'all are follower of Jesse. Would Jesse wear a collared
No.
shirt?
What the heck? I had a
Chris
full
wear
beard.
collared
Jesse
shirt.
doesn't even have
No,
a beard
listen.
right now.
No, I noticed this. Every time Jesse wear a collared shirt, Chris got one on.
I'm not wearing a collared shirt right now. He wore
Because
one
Jesse
today.
ain't there. Jesse ain't there. That's why.
Sorry for my pit stains.
What are you talking
Um,
about? I did the show earlier. He was wearing a collared shirt. He has no beard. I have a beard. I'm wearing a V-neck.
Jesse he had a beard before you even got there. You was clean faced when you first came there.
I know, but his whole look became more civilized,
Yeah,
white,
I
manly,
understand.
mature.
He's trying to cover up that earlobe. That's what he's trying to do, but it ain't happening.
Can
bro.
you blame him?
That's there for
No,
life.
I don't even notice
That's
his
there for
earlobes
life.
anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, because he has
You
a big bushy beard, manly, and
Right, he's trying to cover that
long
up.
hair like Jesus.
Like Jesus. Prove that Jesus existed, then I believe you.
Look at me.
Look at him.
Prime example.
Yeah, and
yeah.
JLP,
Well, I
born
tell
again
you-
and believes in Jesus, and he's
Oh
real.
my God! And then y'all believe in Trump, but you're a Christian.
Trump,
I tell you, man.
Trump is a
Woo,
picture of a. He's
the
a very
most
good
mafia
Christian.
corrupt-
Do I
He works
believe in Trump? I believe he's
Al Capone.
a real person, yeah.
Trump
I've
is
seen him
worse
in
than
real
Al
life.
Capone, and y'all believe in him.
Okay, before we hang up, a couple of super chats for you, Tony.
Come on, sir. Come
as-
on with those European lies.
Asmodor states he's American. Asmodor is American, not European.
He's European. He comes from the Caucasus Mountains. Come
No,
on.
he doesn't. He comes from Texas, dude.
Well, his
Tony-
origin is, if you look at the origin, he came from the Caucasus Mountains. Come on with the question.
You don't know history. Asmodor states Tony probably wears a shirt, shoes, and pants, adopting white culture, instead of a grass skirt and bone through his nose. Thus, Tiny, also known as Tony, fell for European culture. Is that true? I
wear
think
a
that's
dark
true.
ticket.
You wear
I wear a dark
European
ticket.
clothes.
I wear a dark. Yeah, ain't no European don't wear no dark shiki. So don't
You
even start that.
don't wear a darshiki.
Your entire career
My
is
entire
career is based on European ingenuity, European culture. You drive a
drive
truck.
a truck.
You drive a truck. Who were the people that invented the truck?
Mr. Henry Ford, a Christian man, I think.
And who was the person that invented the refrigerator trailer? It wasn't no white man.
I imagine a white man
No, that's a lie. Once again, since you want to talk
invented
what's real, my
a
friend,
refrigerated
it was a black man.
truck. So combining the two things, a truck, which a white man invented, and a refrigerator, which a white man invented, Electricity, which a white man discovered.
That's a lie too. Look
No,
up
it's not.
Lattimore. Look up Lattimore.
That's silly.
You want to talk out there. If it weren't for him, you wouldn't have no electricity.
Is Nick around? What is it? Say blackinventionmyths.com. Is that what it is? Blackinventionmyths.com. We can fact check.
Who you think?
Tony.
Who you think clean your streets every day?
The Mexicans.
Who you think? Huh?
I said the Mexicans, but Tony, last super chat because we've been on too long with you, but I appreciate your call.
I'm just keeping it real with you. You know you.
John WX25 says, since half the black babies are aborted in New York alone, maybe New York City, then why no Black Lives Matter protests on the basis of genocide? Yet Tony, brain dead, thinks you hate blacks. Yeah, you accuse me of hating blacks when I'm not for blacks killing their babies. Are you for blacks killing their babies in the womb?
Whatever the female want to do with her body, that's her business.
Sucker.
No.
Classic.
No. I'm not no.
Gotta go, man.
Or nobody try to stop a female from doing what she needs to do for her health. It's not my.
Her health.
It's not my concern.
Simp.
That's her health, her body.
Simp. Gotta go, man.
You don't have no control. God didn't make you control no female.
Yes,
body.
He did. All right.
No, you didn't.
Gotta go, Tony. Nice talking with you.
Have a good day. Believe in the truth, brother. Stop fooling with them lies.
Way ahead of you, Tony.
Very nice. Some more super chats, guys. Before I get back to calls and stories. Oh my gosh. Brandon M with the super chat over there on Odyssey, ODYSEE. Thank you for clearing your name, Chris.
Thank you.
Tony needs to look up Jerry Heller, certainly not a Christian, who funded NWA. That's Nguz with attitude. Nguz. N-word. Guz. With attitude. NWA. Degenerate early days of rap. One of the relatively early rap. And most gangster rap groups. Jerry Heller. Look it up. Not a Christian. Certainly not a Christian. Also, plenty of Cohens in the rap game. C-O-H-E-N. Probably not Christian names, right? Although some of them may have converted to Catholicism to avoid persecution or to be undercover. Who knows? Another super chat from Asmodor, blackinventionmyths.com, and refrigerated truck myth. Indeed. Nick the Anchor Baby also shares this. Frederick Jones with Joseph Numero in 1938? No! Did Jones change America's eating habits by making possible the long-distance shipment of perishable foods? No! Refrigerated ships and rail cars had been moving perishables across oceans and continents even before Jones was born. See refrigerated transport timeline. Trucks with mechanically refrigerated cargo spaces appeared on the roads at least as early as the late 1920s. You can see proof. They have links here on blackinventionmyths.com under refrigerated truck, I guess. Further development of truck refrigeration was more a process of gradual evolution than radical change. So, very nice. Thank you, Asmodor and Nicolas, the Anchor Baby, with the blackinventionmyths.com source. Very cool. And let me just double check the, oh man, so many super chats. So many super chats for Tony. Well, thank you, Tony. He is my primary Hake report fundraiser. Hydro says with the super chat on Streamlabs, can you ask Tony why blacks rather sell their souls for money and go along with the so-called white people he claims are using blacks? Yeah, Hydro, good question. That's a good question for a later call if he survives to the next call. Pray for Tony. Lin Yan Chin says, Tony the tangential rambler. Is he a mouth breather? The mental ambler scrambling our mind as much as his own. We thank you for your madness, which resembles our dearly departed Earl of Dementia, which we don't know where Earl is, whether he's alive or dead, his whereabouts. Pray for Earl, I guess. Or maybe there's no use. Wallamelon Be witcha always. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. Hydro says, with another super chat, ask Tony why he has been here for over 400 years and yet can barely speak English.
You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day.
He's too busy fighting to speak English. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, somebody was saying, why would they need Tony's authority to drive if they have their own truck? Asks Asmodor. Anyway, pretty funny. Thank you guys for the super chats. Before I get to calls, I got to play this. I was going to talk about this Will Smith mess. Oh, turn the vent off, says Nick. Turn the vent off. JLP wants heat. Whoa. All right. So I'll try to keep my talking short. Did you even turn the AC on? Anyway, let me play this clip. This is clip 11, I believe. Here, Chris. Did I have it in the folder? Yeah, okay. I'm assuming that she doesn't cuss. So if there's cussing in it, I did not check, guys, kids, adults, parents. So if there's cussing, I apologize. But I'm going to take this risk. It's on TikTok, this pretty POC girl with an ugly, cringy political take. This is from Libs of TikTok on Twitter. White people shouldn't speak about what happened at the Oscars, you know, when Black Will Smith slapped Black comedian, Black actor Will Smith, allegedly Black. I mean, he's mostly Black. Slapped Chris Rock over a funny joke about Will Smith's bald wife, shaved head wife, who has alopecia. They shouldn't talk about what happened at the Oscars because of their white lens, ableism, misogyny, white supremacy, something, something. Insufferable, says Libs of TikTok. Well, listen to this 1 minute long clip on why you are not allowed, if you're white, press 1 if you're white, press 2 if you're Black, 3 if you're Hispanic, 4 if you're Asian, 5 if you're something else or a mix of those things in the chat. In the meantime, enjoy.
Why what happened at the Oscars is not something white people need to speak on right away. There is so much nuance and complexity and layers that you will not be able to understand through your white experience without education and listening to specifically Black women, which we all know many people don't. So when you share your perspective or your education on what you perceive to have happened last night, it's coming through your white lens, which has you on a place of moral high ground, lacks understanding of Black trauma, has such an emphasis on this binary of who is good or who is bad, centers violence, only actually continues to minimize Black women and their pain, and most annoyingly, continues to center yourself on shit that really just is not your business.
Sorry,
so
guys.
Just take some time, take a minute.
Guys.
You don't have to respond right away. Really try and look at the entire situation before you speak on the shiny, easy grab. Because what you fail to see through your white lens was the actual violence occurring. The continued violence that is ableism and that is misogynoir. The continued violence that is white supremacy.
Anyway, I guess they cut it off. Thank you guys for responding. I see some Blacks. I see some mixed people. I see some 6s. I forget if I mentioned 6. And some many whites. Right on. Nice. That's cool. So, is that girl Black? She looks like she's mixed. I thought that she was like American Indian or Hispanic. But then she started like moving her head around and like doing this, thumping her hands down on the ground in like a beat, a repetitive motion, kind of like how the Blacks will talk like this. They'll clap. Misogynoir. What was that? So this woman is, don't point out the obvious evil. The real violence is ableism, making fun of this bald woman for shaving her head rather than fixing her alopecia, alleged alopecia. And who knows what else she is. But he just made fun of her. But that's the real violence. Yeah, she's not Black enough. Maybe she's part Black. Maybe she's a mix of... Maybe she would be checking the number 5 for me in the chat. Is she in my live chat? She mixed something. Anyway, what a mess, huh? That's degeneracy. And there's people who actually think like that. Ladies, and I use the term loosely, don't worry your pretty little heads about trying to correct people on their takes of right and wrong. Shameful, huh? So sick. By the way, here's a quote from Chris Rock, who got slapped by Will Smith. I'm still kind of processing what happened. So at some point, I'll talk about the blank. And it'll be serious and it'll be funny, but right now, I'm going to tell some jokes. So he publicly addressed the Oscars slapping incident for the first time during a show in Boston, I guess last night. And the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences said yesterday they have initiated disciplinary proceedings against actor Will Smith, who struck Chris Rock during the broadcast after the comedian told a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Pinkett's her maiden name. I don't know how much of a maiden she was, but that's neither here nor there. What a mess, huh? So sick. And I saw another clip of her on TikTok, this Jada Smith woman, saying earlier, I like my bald head. I love it. I don't give two craps. Sorry, kids. Adults. Sorry, parents. But she said it. And she said that C word, not the SH blank blank word. That she doesn't care. So I don't know if she cares or not. Evidently, Will Smith was pretending to care, or was. What a mess, huh? So evil. So wrong. Alexander, call me back tomorrow, man. That's not I don't feel like I want to take your call on that topic. Alexander from California, whom I like to talk to. Sometimes interesting person. He's mixed. He would be checking a 5, he said. There's a caller named Alexander who likes to call my show and comment on my videos, and I appreciate him. And he says that he has some autism. But call me back another day, man. Said something that seemed like it was inappropriate, ill-advised. If you really want to discuss that, I guess you can send me an email. thehakereport@gmail.com, and I'll send you my brief thoughts on that. But I think you should keep that private. Thank you, Alexander. I appreciate you. If you're lost, he's the one who called in and said that he's anti-racist earlier this week. I think that was this week or last week. And he is a John Fugelsang Christian and a Dr. Umar Johnson anti-racist. Very interesting young man. As a caller, I like him as a caller, not as a guest. He wants to be a guest. But man, keep up with the silent prayer. I appreciate you. Don't take it all personally, which I don't think that he would. Anyway, gotta tell you about this. We're in the less than 10 minutes here. The gay transgender agenda. Did you know that it is so-called CNN and the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim, calling it International Transgender Day of Visibility? Seen is the headline from the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. Seen. 11.3%. According to Commie Nonsense Network, is the proportion of LGBTQ so-called adults who misidentify as transgender, quote-unquote. Today, March 31st, is the International, meaning globalist, transgender, meaning delusional, Day of Visibility, meaning shamelessness. Have shame, people, about your issues, which is why I did not allow Alexander on my show, which he's not doing anything like that, so don't worry. But have shame about your issues. Don't be shameless and degenerate. How about Degenerate Day? That's one of those, right? Day of Visibility, to show support for the so-called transgender community. Communities are made up of families. Families make communities. These people are not families. Now they're doing the test tube babies, the surrogate see and allowing mentally and spiritually wrong people to adopt babies. That's so wrong. But that doesn't make it a community. Really. I mean, it's so wrong. So don't be calling that a transgender community. What the heck? Blacks are barely a community, you know, because they don't have families so frequently, you know. They have messed up or non-existent families. A family is a father and mother married, right, with their own children. And with exceptions, adoption. Consider the state of trans representation. This year's observance, this is CNN, comes at an especially important time for advocates and activists who are fighting against the rising number of anti-LGBTQ laws, specifically target trans people. And I was talking with Chris, I think on the show, about how these weak rhinos are they're white knighting for the girls' sports, women's sports. Because, you know, pick another fake victim group who shouldn't even be playing sports so frequently, you know? I mean, it's good to be fit, athletic, and stuff, but nobody cares so much about some of these sports, these girls' sports. How about set an example and set some standards in society? This is public indecency, public, I don't even know, I can't think of the word, but it's when you're vulgar in public, you know? It's what it is. It just is. But now, no, since you're giving and giving and giving, you have Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, whom I call Mayor Pete Buttigieg, talking about, this law is outrageous. It's like what your girlfriend said in the super chat. This don't say gay law is outrageous. My kids, if I lived in Florida, they wouldn't, which aren't even really his kids. He adopted them with his so-called fake husband, right? Won't be able to go to school and talk about what a great weekend they had with their dads. Talk about this brainwashing, huh? Moral decline. And then they're just turning society upside down so that people who are for what's right are just flushed out of society, pushed to the margins, deplatformed, and called extremists and everything else. It's what happens. You know? And so many other evils. Untold numbers of evils when you get soft and make exceptions and address symptoms rather than the root. It's kind of like what Tony said. The root is those white rap music producers. Anyway. So sick. Before I get to super chats, let me just finish this little story here. Arizona joined a wave of states passing anti-trans legislation. Blah, blah, blah. Republican governors have vetoed it. I talked about Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb. Shout out to Matt Living the Dream, or Matt the American, who passed that along. Spencer Cox, this Utah governor. I told you this in Hake News today at the end of hour 2, maybe, on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Spencer Cox pointed out the low number of trans kids in sports in his state and the high rates of suicide. So now he's promoting transgender victimhood, which supporting them in their delusion is supporting their suicides. Sucker. Spencer Cox. Is he supposed to be a Christian? Is he supposed to be a real Republican? He put it, quote, rarely has so much fear, this is the far left female run out, that's a skim reporting, rarely has so much fear and anger been directed at so few, because the transgenders are very few. He said, I want them to live. I want them to live too. That's why you're not supposed to support the transgender agenda. That's not life. That's not living. These and other bills that came after the trans community experienced its deadliest year on record. Dozens killed in the U.S. last year. By whom? Or by who? Who is the subject? Whom is the object, right? By who? Each other? Or other degenerates who were going to have sex with them, like a one-night stand, you know, the sex out of wedlock culture that the liberals promote and some of the so-called conservatives have fallen into, and, you know, many of you guys, a shout out to you guys, fallen into that, right? That's not good. And then they say, oh, no, this is not a real girl. Boof, punch him. Oops, I killed him. Oh, man. And that's considered like a hate crime. But in reality, it's like you're tricking the person, and you guys are doing this degenerate thing together. So, evil only spurs on more evil. Let me look up this Spencer Cox guy. He's a so-called Republican, married to Abby, 46 years old. Spencer James Cox, American lawyer. Lawyers, so often, not always. There are some honorable lawyers, but they get broken down. Wow. Could have been a total Chad. Even though he's bald, shout out to the bald people. What a mess, huh? What a sucker. Anyway, last quick super chat here. John WX25 says, Google black rap producers, LOL. Look at all that white supremacy. Not, Tony. Anything degenerate that the blacks do, he finagles a way to blame the whites for it. So true. So true. What a mess. What a mess. Yeah, and you heard last quick point in the last 15 seconds here. Sleepy Joe Biden is the first president to formally recognize the international, what is this? International Transgender Day of Visibility. Told you he's Obama continued. Obama was for this. He was for transgenders in the military. Trump was against it. Even though Trump was kissing up to the gays and transgenders, he was like nice to them. Perhaps more nice than many of you or I might want to be, right? But yeah, this is Obama all over again. Evil, Sleepy Joe, so-called Catholic. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow, hopefully. And take care. Bye.